Let me pull up this story. It's from the Daily Wire. Bill Gates on energy crisis. It's good for the long run. The reason I think this is so important, let me give you a bit of context here. They say the billionaire and Microsoft co-founder explained during an interview with CNBC that although global economies cannot immediately discard oil and gas, current shortages in the European energy market will prompt a faster transition away from fossil fuels. Quote, now without the Russian natural gas being available in Europe, it's a setback. We need to find non-Russian hydrocarbon sources to substitute for those. Keeping those economies in decent shape is a priority. Now, on the other hand, it's good for the long run because people won't want to be dependent on Russian natural gas, so they'll move to these new approaches more rapidly. Here's the point. For all of the people that are very concerned about climate change and the environment and all that stuff, hey, man, I hear you. But these people are lying to you. They're saying it's good that Europe's in an energy crisis right now. Italy, they're using candlelight for their stores. The UK is preparing scripts. This was the Guardian reporting. The BBC is preparing these scripts for when the blackouts hit. Now you've got in the United States, you've got gas in California at $8. You've got gas on the rise nationally. It's over $4 something right now. They're telling you we have to stop using this stuff because of climate change. And then Joe Biden goes to, as you mentioned, Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and just says, keep up their production. They clearly still want this stuff. Their agenda is it's political and it does not match what they're saying at home. So I used to be all about like, okay, let's find renewable energies. Then I saw them going overseas to our adversaries. So we're dependent on them. Okay, Bill Gates can point out we don't want to be dependent on Russia. You know what that means? It means American energy independence.
And
it doesn't mean walking away from it.
And we have it. And I'm no fool. I'm cognizant. I'll be challenged, of course, by the EPA and the Biden administration when I'm governor next year. But we're going to do it because that's underneath the constitutional power of the states. The reason why I would say this is the age of the governors, we saw during the COVID shutdown, which was eye-opening for all of us, whether conservative or not, we saw how dangerous this trend was towards tyranny and stripping away our freedoms that we just took for granted. We saw Pennsylvania with very restrictive powers by Governor Wolf, and never was a governor more appropriately named. And then, of course, Ron DeSantis in Florida. And I kind of say this jokingly, but I really do mean it. I want to bring a little bit of Florida to Pennsylvania as far as freedoms go.
Yeah, but guys, this is not what Bill Gates wants. And what Bill Gates wants is what Bill Gates gets, okay? He paid how much money to the corporate media? $250 million. He bought a lot of influence here. He helped spur on the Inflation Reduction Act, which doesn't actually reduce inflation. But we have to understand here, when he's talking about new approaches, he's also talking about specifically the businesses that he has invested in. So he's not talking about energy independence because of the United States drilling and exploring domestic energy. He's talking about unproven technologies that, again, have not been tested, most likely are insufficient. A lot of people are calling them scams, and rightfully so. And when we see this larger problem in the United Kingdom, people will suffer. There's a big potential for blackouts. People will lose their savings, their money, because they're trying to just afford the ability to heat their homes. And for Bill Gates, this is a good thing for the long run. This is his approach. Human suffering is good for the long run. If those are your tactics, what's going to be your end game? And the end game is going to be the same thing. And the carbon that he wants to reduce is, of course, you.